Hello everyone, it's Kari from sunshineinmypocket.com, and today I'm going to share how to use these Artesprix magnets and keychains to make a sublimated gift. Now I know this is a little different for me, but I am going to use one of my favorite stamp sets from Heffy Doodle. This is called Wingman, and you could see I have one already colored up, but today we're going to sublimate it or transfer it to one of those blanks. And I'm going to be using this special ink pad and the sublimation markers from Artesprix. Now I have done a couple of projects using Artesprix markers in the past, but I did not know they had a stamp pad that you could sublimate also. And so that's what I was really excited about, and I really am so happy that I get to test this out today. I'm going to be creating two projects that are similar. The first one was my trial run, and I learned some things from it, so I left it in here. So as you can see, I'm using the magnets today, and I just traced around that hexagon so that I know how big I can make my scene. I'm taking one of the birds from the Heffy Doodle Wingman stamp set. I thought it would be fun to use the flying bird and add some of the feathers around. So it looks like he's flying. Some of his feathers might be escaping him. I don't know. And then I also used that cute little speech bubble with the heart. Now I'm stamping this up using an acrylic block the first time. You're going to see why I decided it's really a lot better to use the MISTI, where you can stamp it a couple of times, and you're going to see the results of that. Now it does look like it stamped okay here, and it did. But when you have that sublimation, I wanted a darker look when I ironed it onto my magnet piece. So you'll see that, but I'm testing it out to see what is going to work and what isn't here. So I'm just going to run with it. Now these sublimation markers have a chisel tip to them. So there's a smaller edge that you can use for the details, and there's a larger chisel end where you can turn it and use the chisel end for some larger areas. So here I'm going to test out using just the very tip of that chisel end to color up his wings. And I thought it would be fun to give it a try to see if I could get it to blend from a red to an orange. While I'm coloring, you're going to notice these colors look a little bit muddied here on this copy paper. By the way, if I didn't mention it before, this is just copy paper or computer paper, regular paper that you would use in your printer, and it's nice and thin, and so it's nothing special, but this is what's going to work the best for sublimating onto the project. So I did try to blend the orange into the red, and it didn't work as well as I wanted it to, but wait till you see it the second time around. I learned a little something from this first time. And these markers are nice and juicy, so the ink is coming out. It's flowing very nicely. I'm getting a lot of ink, and I'm being kind of careful as I'm coloring to try to keep it all inside the lines, nice and neat. And now I'm going to color the whole background blue, so it's like he's flying in the sky. And I'm just going to speed through this a little through the magic of editing, but you'll see that I colored the entire background. I didn't want any of that white to be left on the magnet. I'm also going to color in those feathers. I've got a green one here, and I'm going to use purple on this one. And then I'm also going to color in the heart in the speech bubble. One of the feathers goes off of the hexagon a little, but that's okay because we're going to take this magnet piece, and the white side is what you want down on your colored image. And now I'm going to use some of this heat transfer tape. This is special tape that is not affected by the heat, and we're just going to tape that down so that we can transfer it to our magnet. Now Artesprix has a really cool protective mat, and this is the first time I've used it, but I love it. It's so thick and it protects your work surface, which is really great. I'm going to try to show you the thickness of it. I don't know if you can tell here, but look at that. So it's perfect for ironing this onto your project. I am going to cut down this piece just a little bit, and I'm also using the protective paper around there. I've set my timer for 1 minute and 25 seconds, and I forgot that my iron is the kind that turns off if you hold it down too long. And so guess what? It turned off on me and I didn't realize it. And so this first one, now this is really hot, by the way, be very careful. But look, this first one didn't transfer as well as I wanted it to because my iron kept turning off. Now I have to lift it and keep telling it that, hey, wait a minute, I'm still using this iron. If I had a heat press or if I had an easy press, then it probably would have transferred a little bit better. But I did get still an okay look. My husband thought it looked like a Mexican tile, one of those hand-painted tiles. And so he really did like it. But I thought, you know what? I've learned a few things. Let's try this a second time. So here's my second time, and I'm going to tell you what. Using a MISTI to ink it up 2 or 3 times and restamp it to get a nice dark impression really made a difference in the end. And I'm going to show them side by side in the end. So you'll see the results of the first one versus the results of the second one. I like the second one a lot better. So I'm going to ink up a couple extra wings so that you can tell which one is the first and which one is the second, although I think it's pretty easy to tell when I hold them side by side. So I'm going to recolor these, and when I do the wings, now I'm coloring the body a little bit different than I did the first time, but when I did the wings, I'm still going to try to get those to blend into each other. And here's what I found worked the best. I color in the entire wing with the first color, so this is the orange, and now while that orange is still wet, I'm going to hurry and add the red to the edges of each of those wings and blend those together back again with the orange. So by going back and forth in such a manner, I found that the translation was a little bit better and the blending worked a little bit better as well. So that's what I did for both of the wings, and then I colored everything else up pretty much the same, including the sky background and the feathers and all of those things. So I'm going to finish coloring this up here just like so, using the chisel edge again to color that larger area of the sky. And I'm going to let this dry, and then let's transfer it one more time to magnet number 2. So you can see that's pretty wet right now. I do let it dry just a little bit before I attach the magnet. Again, the white side goes down onto the picture that you colored. And keep in mind that if you are stamping a word or something like that, you're going to need to do the mirrored image of it, because when you sublimate it, it ends up the opposite way. So you'd have to do a mirror image of a word. So again, I'm going to set my timer for 1 minute, 25 seconds. Now you can see the times on the Artesprix website for any of their products and how long it would take to hold that iron on there. I found that 1 minute and 25 seconds worked out really great for me. And look at this. Ooh, the results are so bright and vivid. And here's the first one. You can tell that the second one turned out a lot brighter. I worked with my iron a little bit better. I said some nice words to it. Now I'm going to add the magnet right to the back. Now be careful when you're first taking this off because it is hot. And I just stuck it to my lights right there and it sticks perfectly. So this is such a fun project. I love that there is now a stamp pad. I think it has come out just in the past couple of years, and it is so fun to use with your stamps. I can see me using this with my granddaughters. I think they're going to love it. I hope you enjoyed this project today. This is a part of a blog hop, so look on down to the details below to go to my blog and follow the hop to get a lot more inspiration with some of these products. I think you're going to love it. Thanks for stopping by. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoyed this, and also don't forget this is great for a stocking stuffer. We'll see you real soon. Bye-bye.